Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about Metaverse stocks. So if you've seen my last video that I just put up recently, then you saw me talking about the Metaverse and the idea and just strictly mostly about, in particular, Facebook and what they're doing. So today I want to actually give you 12 different stocks that you could take a look at. You could pick and choose if you want to invest, but more so for you to research and just be aware of what's coming. Because on this channel, one of the things that I love to do is I love to talk about how to be proactive. Because a lot of times one of the problems that people have is either they're stuck in the past, or either they're just living for today, YOLO, or either, they're just only planning for the future versus being able to learn from the past, embracing today, and building and planning for the future. And so when I have these types of videos and conversations, or if you look at anything on my channel, you will understand that is all behind the concept of what it is that I love to talk about, because you can learn, you can grow, and ultimately learn these things yourself and be able to teach your family and teach your community as well. That's how you're able to build wealth for yourself and your family, your slice of wealth, your slice of financial, independence, or just, financial peace, or whatever you want to call it. And that's by being able to really see things from a really good perspective and a really broad point of view to see how things are going, from past, present, to future, etc. So on this channel, I want to talk about these stocks. Now, as I said, do your own research around them. I'm not encouraging anyone to buy anything. But the great thing about this is a world that has not yet fully developed. It's starting to develop, but I don't want you to miss it. So that's why we're talking about it, right? Because anytime you have these things start to happen, always remember, money never leaves. It just moves from one place to the next. And if you're in a place where money is leaving, then you need to find out where it's going so you can position yourself. And like I said, that's strictly, we're a financial channel, so we're talking about money, but you can use that for other aspects in your life as well. So today I want to get right into these 12 stocks, and feel free to like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. My name is Joseph Fountain. Let's get right into it. All right, guys, put myself in the bottom of the screen so we can go right into it. So now the first thing we're going to talk about is what I already kind of talked about, and that is Facebook. Now with Facebook, you can see here, Meta Platforms, they've already changed their name. Come December 1st, their ticker symbol will no longer be FB. Facebook will just be a division underneath, Meta, their company. And so the ticker symbol will be MVRS for Metaverse, basically. So that's MVRS. So if you already own this stock, then you're going to see that change, okay? You don't have to do anything. I know when people, when companies change stocks, sometimes people ask, do they have to do anything? No, you don't. So here with Facebook and Metaverse, if you look at my last video, it's self-explanatory. But if you look at Facebook and just how they've grown over the years, behind everybody's doubts and worries and fears, I've been investing in Facebook since they first went public, and everybody was saying they're not profitable. And one of the things that I always like to also talk about is that, yes, numbers don't lie. However, they do change, and Facebook numbers changed. And so a lot of times you have to look beyond just the numbers today, but also look at where things are going. So because I understood where social media was going, because I actively used it for business and building online and stuff like that, you could see how massive things were coming. So it wouldn't have made any sense if I didn't invest. I've been invested from the beginning. And now what Facebook is doing is they're kind of creating another, social media world, especially in between their companies, to where, you can have Facebook, and you can use Facebook to, join into meetings, and Instagram and WhatsApp and Messenger. They even have this deal that they've been working on, or I guess it might be complete, with Ray-Ban, where you could actually, be out and about and want to share some of your stories. You can take pictures or share something with the top of your glasses. And then one of the things you gotta understand with, the Metaverse and everything is happening, a lot of things revolve around, this holographic imagery, and, this augmented reality and virtual reality imagery and different things like that, and things that you can use. So a lot of stuff revolves around the glasses, and that's where when you see people like tapping on their wrist and something popping up and stuff like that, that's kind of more of the concept of how they're trying to move with different things. Now, in real life, will we ever be able to put something around our wrist, like in real life, and tap it, and the screen pops up, and you can scroll? I don't know. That would definitely be cool if we could. I would definitely have one, but for the time being, this only exists like in the virtual or augmented reality world. And so if you know Facebook, they own Oculus already within the virtual reality world. So it only makes sense for what they're doing and where they're going to. So Facebook is the first stock I want to talk about. Now you can do your own research. You can go watch the video that I posted previously about this, but they're definitely, all the way in the mix. I'm going to explain something about that a little later as well. Now the next one is Roblox. So if you have a kid like I do, then your kids are extremely interested in Roblox. Now Roblox already has their own type of environment. It's just the virtual reality, feel where it's kind of like you're just playing, but that's you in the screen, and you can build different things and different experiences, things like that. They already have their own type of digital currency like Roblox, Robux, I think is what it is, that my daughter be asking me to buy all the time. But they are already poised as well to be able to really capitalize in the metaverse, because as I stated like before with Free Guy and Ready Player One, those are like the two really good examples of what is being built at this moment with the whole augmented reality, where you sit down and have everything within it. And Roblox is a company that is already poised, and it already has the attention of the next generation, like full force. So Roblox, a stock to check out. Meta. Now, I wanted to get some stuff on here that wasn't already experienced, okay? Because some of these companies you'll already know and some you won't. But I did want to have something here that wasn't expensive. That's what I meant. And so Meta, here is the ETF, and that's a play on your Metaverse stocks. Now you can see that it has went up a little bit just in the last few days behind Facebook. This is how long it's been in existence, since July. And so you can actually go to their site and you can actually see what they're involved in and all the assets they have. That anytime you invest in an ETF, you can always do that. And you'll come down, you can see view full ETF holdings. You see here their top holdings here. They always put their top 10 out there, which all of them are Metaverse stocks. And so if you don't want to try to play the game of being able to find all of them, because some of them are these stocks you can't even get in our exchange. But if you want to be able to play Metaverse stocks without having to worry about trying to play anything individually, then here is your play, Meta. It's actually something that I chose to invest in as well, because I don't want to chase every single stock. But then as we go on, some of these we already know about. But next one is Unity. You may not have heard about this, but Kathy Woods and ARK has heard about this, and they have a ton of money in Unity. I think Unity is like their fourth largest investment, if not mistaken. Anyone that knows, you can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But Unity, they actually are a software company, and they've been doing pretty good. You see how high up it is, but they're around more so of the software. But when it concerns like the actual building of platforms and things like that. So if you go to their site, you'll see here it explains to you gain a competitive edge with real-time 3D in a rapidly evolving industry landscape. This is just an example of automation, transportation, manufacturing, film, animation, cinematics, architecture, engineering, and construction. And this is software. So one of the things about software is very synonymous with the gold rush, is understanding that in the gold rush, when you ask who got the wealthiest, it wasn't the people trying to mine for gold, it was the people who sold the tools. So this is like a tool to help people build on that platform. It'll be part of the engine behind not all platforms, but some of them. And they're already poised and they're already positioned. They have the capital, they have the bank, they have everything they need to be able to support large platforms and of that nature, and etc. Which also ties in to my next stock, which is Mataport. All right, now Mataport, you may have never heard of them. but very similar to Unity in that 3D building landscape. Now, Mataport I also want to put on here because it's a cheaper stock, right? Most of these stocks are a little bit up. Mataport and Meta, they're more of the inexpensive ones. So for those that may be looking for an inexpensive play. Now, Mataport, just if you don't know, you're down on your phone, but here you are. 3D virtual tours can take your business to a new dimension. So the reason why I put it behind Unity is because, so imagine this, if let's say real estate, for example, let's say you're looking to buy a house, and you want to go check it out, but you don't necessarily have to get out and go see it if you don't want. You can actually take a virtual tour of a home, right? You can take a virtual tour and see what it looks like, and you can meet the same real estate agent you would normally meet. You guys have an appointment, and they sit down, they come in a virtual world with you, and you guys are able to go through and look at property or look at homes and things like that, right? That's kind of an example. But you can actually download this now and actually see how it works on your phone for free. And look in 3D virtual tools. Is that something that's starting to evolve a little bit more? 3D actual walkthroughs and not just pictures that people are panning around or whatnot, but actually walking through. Now, the thing about this brings me to my next stocks. Got Apple, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and then we tie back to Facebook. All right, so let me scroll up on these things. Now, the reason why these FANG stocks are on here. Now, number one, understanding that in order to build an environment like I was just speaking of, it's going to take a lot of money. It's going to take a lot of resources, but those things will work more and even better with companies that already have their own environments, like the Apple ecosystem, Facebook and all their things, Apple, Google, Amazon and all their things, Google and all their things, Microsoft and all those things. Now, when you look to each company, they already have their own things that they are working on towards when it concerns the metaverse, augmented reality, AI, all these different things. Like if you take your Apple phone and you're able to do, see something in your room that's not there, like you see with Snapchat, like those type of things are already, in play and in motion. But the biggest thing that I wanted to bring these up is not to talk about their individual efforts, because most of you already have this stock, some shape or form, but most of you already know it, but it's more so because of a lot of the systems and ecosystems around it, where you have things that already work together, and they can also affect a community, bring it more widespread and more marketable because they are so large, right? So when you build something like this, in order for it to really, really work, you're going to be able to need to reach and touch people at a mass scale, because for everything to become kind of the norm, or either you're going to just be building from pieces here, and let's say if you want to meet with a friend, but that friend doesn't have, Google this or Apple, or they don't have this, but they have that. So see, that's why it matters. So like Facebook having as many users as it does, it already puts you somewhat in position to be able to just, do what you do with other people. One of the videos that had an example was where a friend sent another friend a message, like on Instagram, I think it was like Instagram or Messenger, saying, "Hey, I'm at the concert, go on and jump in." And she was like, "Okay." So she taps and jumps in, and now she's there at the concert. More so, she would actually have on glasses, so she could actually kind of see that she's in the concert or whatnot. Or if it's something you tap in and then like on the screen, but the concert is more so you being in it, so you would have to, of course, kind of like, put on some type of tech, whatever. So in order to really make this work, you're going to need the biggest companies that are already within the tech industry to be able to pull that off. I hope that makes sense. So we'll move on to the next one. Now, this is a different type of play. eBay. Well, Joe, why is eBay on there? What are they working on the metaverse? Well, as far as I know, they're not. They may be actually, trying to do what Amazon is doing to be able to put eBay stores within the metaverse first where you can shop. But Amazon, that's something that they are trying to do, whatever. But This is more of an NFT play. So, and you can take this for any NFT stocks that you may know of whatsoever. But with eBay, you can actually go on eBay right now and you can buy NFTs. You can search it right on eBay. So, why does NFTs matter? Because it's digital art, music, things like that. You probably have digital animation and different things like that. So, if eBay is a place where you can go universally and be able to buy NFTs and things like that, it's going to make a difference because, of course, they get paid a little bit something off each sale. But that's just kind of more of an NFT play. But right now, you can actually go and buy NFTs off of eBay. So just understanding how so much works, the digital world that is now constantly being constructed and created, kind of like the internet, where no one owns it per se. So it's not necessarily like going to be a space that's owned by one person or whatever, but that's the concept. But it's almost another place where you also can use things like digital currency, cryptos, right? So it makes perfect sense, right? And those things connecting to the real world, that's just they'll transcend, but that's like a whole nother conversation. So all right, so let's go to the next stock. The next stock is Nvidia. Now, Nvidia, similar to Unity software, Nvidia, they do graphic cards, things like that. In a virtual reality world, you're going to need graphics. That's just point blank, period. You can also think of not just them, you can also think of AMD in the same sentence, all right? So that's pretty self-explanatory. The next one is one that we cannot currently invest in unless you actually are invested in, Tencent, because Tencent owns a small percentage of Epic Games. Now, Epic Games from this right here, what you see, Fortnite. Okay, so Fortnite is already poised as well to have that type of system and world, because they kind of already have it, except you're playing from a game perspective, like handheld controllers, computer. You're playing from that perspective versus what happens when you're able to get in it, right? What happens when you're able to get in it, and now you can actually be your character. You can see others like, what's up, John? I like your outfit, right? And John is the dude over here, there's stuff like that. So with Fortnite, they've already kind of experimented with things like that, with having like a concert, but it had an artist, and players could bring their players to the concert and all that stuff with their armor and all those different things. So that's one of them to also think about. But as well as with just that, you also have it where what you call it, Unreal Engine, right? So let me click to that. Unreal Engine, 3D creation tool. And so if you scroll down, you'll actually see where, like it said, create without limits. But you can also, learn Unreal Engine, right? And how you can actually, create more advanced tools and things like that to go in 3D. And you already know what their graphics are like by seeing Fortnite and some of their race car stuff. But here you are. MetaHuman creation, early access now available. So the thing with Epic Games is they're not available to be invested directly yet, but they have been talking and planning about an IPO. Now, if they have an IPO, I'm very prone to buy and to invest in it, really mainly because it just makes sense to, basically because of the fact, look at how much they've already kind of tapped into the market. Fortnite alone, these things are going to generate a lot of income. Now, when will these things be like ready to go when it becomes natural for everyone and people understand it? Those things takes time. Just like electric vehicles, takes time. People still are trying to get used to social media. So those things takes time. But guys, these are just my 12 stocks that I want to point out for the metaverse. Guys, let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts. I know these are not the only ones. So if you have any stocks that you like or any plays that you think will work very well for the metaverse, feel free to drop a link, or not drop a link. Don't drop any links, but feel free to drop a comment below and let others be able to research those stocks as well. All right, guys, I hope this has been helpful. Feel free to like and subscribe. Stick around and get more content to help you build for, today and for the future, but we're also learning from the past. All right, I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Y'all be blessed. Love you. Peace.